This is one of the greatest touring bikes ever made, and by far the best value of a touring bike that you could buy today. Cue the intro. What's up, guys? I'm Sean from Srkcycles.com, and we're here with my newest friend, Honda Valkyrie F6. So basically what this bike is this is a gold wing power plant on a more cruiser bike frame and chassis. It's very much a hot rod bike. It really is. This is the touring model. They made like a roadster model, which I've got one of those at home. The touring model has the front windshield, the bags, and this little, actually these are aftermarket bags. This actually might be the roadster model. This might be the roadster model that looks like the touring model. Let's make fun of this little bag for a moment. This is so small. I feel like you fit maybe 3 cheeseburgers in here, maybe like a couple sticks of string cheese. These are awesome bikes. The reason people love these bikes so much is they do 3 things, maybe 4, incredibly well. 1, they're quick. It's a pretty quick bike. It does the quarter mile in less than 13 seconds. It's got 95 foot-pounds of torque. 2, they're incredibly smooth. That six-cylinder boxer engine is awesome. Low center of gravity, but just incredibly smooth. Put a quarter right on there, just sits there while it's idling. And the way these things handle is incredible. They just throw it in the corners. You know, just like a Goldwing does, but with a little less weight. Now, normally, these things would not have floorboards. These would have pegs. I prefer the pegs better, but the floorboards are not that bad on this bike. Normally, I prefer pegs because I have a hard time shifting with the floorboards on it. So this bike has a 1520cc motor, and it is the motor out of the Goldwing. Except with a Goldwing, it's completely covered up. So with the Valkyrie, they do these cool like intake runners, and I think that's actually aftermarket. They make it look awesome, and the sound will blow your mind away. This is the 6 in the 6 Cobra exhaust. I think it's a Cobra exhaust. It is the 6 in the 6, and it's amazing. Now, although this thing does have 6 carburetors. Hold up. It's a very quick revving, very responsive motorcycle. Now, with all the awesome things going on, you might look at this bike and be like, yeah, it's kind of a little goofy looking. It's not until you ride it that you can really, really appreciate how the feeling of it is and how awesome these bikes are. Let's take it for a spin. All right, guys, before we do the test drive, let's do the words of wisdom real quick. John 14:26, but the Comforter, even the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring to your remembrance all that I said unto you. Awesome. Let's do this. Let's put the gloves on. You gotta wear the gloves. Then let's fire this bad boy up. Choke. Kickstand. I love these bikes, man. Love. I like these bikes so much that I have one in my personal collection, if you could say that I have a personal collection. I have one. I love it. It's the it's not the Tour like this one. It's the regular Roadster. And I'm going to show you all why people love these bikes. There's people out there that are, every time they see one online, they scoop them up. They have like 10 of these because they want to make sure they can always have one when their other one like runs 1 billion miles. The feel of these bikes, right? It's a big bike. I get it. It's a big bike, but these things handle so incredibly well. But then listen to that sound. It's an amazing sound. Quick revving motorcycle. Pulls good, super smooth. I mean, the shifting is smooth. You know, a lot of times you ride these bigger bikes and it's like a little clunky. And that's kind of, people kind of get used to it. I don't know why why it is that way. But Honda can make a very big bike, very fast, very nimble, very snappy, and it not be clunky in any way at all. I mean, but these things legit, like they throwing them into the corner. I would almost go so far to say that this bike is flickable. Now, if you guys are in the motorcycle, if you guys are watching this stuff, you know what I mean, you know that the word flickable is not thrown around all willy-nilly, you know what I mean? It's not, you don't just throw it around. Only a couple bikes are flickable, you know what I mean? Supermotos and, you know, FC07s and stuff like that. You can throw this bike around. Really, really just throw it in the corners. Wherever you're at, it's got good power. Yes, it's got 6 carburetors. That is awesome. Worst case scenario, let's say I know some people might be like, oh man, that's a negative because you got to rebuild all those 6 carbs. But listen, run the bike, right? Run the bike, actually ride the bike, and then when it sits for the winter time, first of all, don't let it sit, just drive it. But put non-ethanol fuel in it, or put fuel stabilizer in it. That's it. You could probably go a decade before you ever have to rebuild the carbs. And I had to rebuild the carbs on one of mine. It was like 400 bucks. That's nothing for an awesome, and the noise, guys, the noise is just out of this world, man. It's crazy. It's at the same time, squirrel, slow squirrel. Holy cow, the thing was really, really slow, just like taking its time. And normally squirrels are like, oh no, when they run back and forth. This one was like, it's drunk or something. So somehow, all right, you know, okay, we all like loud bikes. Most of us appreciate a loud bike here and there, or when we turn the throttle, we want that like, yeah, everyone knows I'm riding a bike. This sounds more like a Formula 1 car, but it's quiet when you're just cruising, right? You're just like, yeah, it's a nice sound. There's no drone. It's just like good. It's pleasing to your ears. But then when you get on it, like I will, really soon, it wakes up. It gets, you know, it's like, oh man, that's cool, but it's not like, it's not like a, you know, like a big S&S, a big displacement S&S motor. That boxer engine, man, that flat 6 boxer engine is just a smooth sounding beast. Now so this is the same engine, it's a Goldwing, and you're gonna, I don't know what you gotta do. You gotta put a V12 in something like this. You gotta put a V12 in a bike before you can surpass the smoothness of what we got going on right here. You really do. I don't remember these commercials, but I've heard of them and I've watched them. I've gone back and seen some online. But Honda's thing was like, we can put a quarter on our head of a running bike and it just sits there, a quarter on a hard surface. The engine's running. Try doing that on a Harley Davidson. It's not gonna happen. And I've actually done it. I've actually done it on Goldwings. Just even though these bikes are old, most of these bikes you see have at least the minimum of 50-some thousand miles on it. The one I have at home that my dad currently rides has 80,000 miles. This one's got 39. Now at 80,000, it runs exactly like this. These things don't age. But at 39, that's a young buck, a young lad. Now I prefer the one without I prefer like the roadster one, like the non-touring one. But if you're a touring guy and you want to tour, then it makes sense. Get the touring one. It already has the windshield. It's got the bags. It's got the funniest little like tour pack. It's like the size of a purse, but a small purse, like a little doll purse. Or you put 2 sandwiches in there. That's what it's for. It's a sandwich pack. paint colors, awesome. It's just a relaxing bike, and I love it. And it's gonna, let's see what the horn sounds like. No way. Come on, oh come on, wake up. Horn. It's the weakest. I think the horn's just in-op. That wouldn't even count for a horn. Hold up. Come on. Come on, wake up. Oh well. I think it's got it must have an airline leak. Because it works. It's just not putting out any power. That's so funny. Alright guys, that wraps up the video of the Valkyrie. I love these bikes. These bikes are sweet. And it probably at first time I saw one of these things, I was like, it's kind of goofy looking. But then you drive it, and then you fall in love. I'm gonna take this corner like a boss, and then we're gonna be out of here. Guys, do not forget to subscribe. We will see you guys later. Do not forget to check out the other channel, the Bikes and Beards channel. It's kind of the back end. It's kind of like we turned the shop into like our own little reality show, and it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool stuff, meeting up with some other YouTubers, and it's a fun channel. Alright guys, we'll see you guys later. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.